No. ¡Corra, guacho, corra! ¡Váyase! ¡Corra, guacho, dale! ¡La casa, la casa! ¡Bajo techo, corra! Vamos a correr.
Shalom, shalom, Israel, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Chakadash, the honors to the apostles, the elders, Jim Beshu, citation to Akim out there, pushing the word, truth, and sincerity, raising in freedom. You like to do so more so not than ever before, for we are close to the end. Yeah, man, the war is spreading, and we are closer to the end than ever before. Better believe that. So, as you know, U.S. and Iran is back on full-scale war. And Iran promised that if they was to do so, they would get their other proxy, which is the Houthis of Yemen, to start attacking the Red Sea, closing off the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz, which is a total of 40% of global energy exports. All right there by Saudi Arabia. So obviously the Houthis are going to attack Saudi Arabia because they export mainly out of the Red Sea. So this is the article, man. Before we get there, let's get this. Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. What the scriptures mean by the woe is the world war. All right. Now John didn't say World War I, World War II. But he compared it to a mass amount of destruction and death, which he used woe. Woe means, symbolizing distress, troubles, misery, trouble, great sorrow, distress. Hyperbolically meaning, it's like, so essentially means like, things that cause stress and troubles, which essentially is a world war. When a world war happens, the economies crash globally. Nations move to a wartime footing. They gear up for loss of life, death, and other things. War brings a lot of catastrophes to society, period. Anytime there's a war. So, John, the Revelator, said, the second war is past, and behold, the third war coming quickly. And if you notice, if you was to read the scriptures in Revelation, it only mentions 3 woes, never 4. Why? Because this woe is the last woe, will be the last war to end all wars, the final battle before the return of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So let's read this. It says, Yemen's Houthis are attacking Saudi Arabia from Iraq, sources say. And it says Saudi Arabia blamed Iraqi armed groups for attacks from Iraq. 2 officials in the region say Houthis joint attacks from Iraq. Joint action would suggest Iran allied groups are deepening tie. So essentially what it's saying is they getting sucked in this war. They getting sucked in this war. And essentially, it's like they're getting sucked in this war, and it's only gonna escalate. It says Yemen's Iran ally Houthis attacked Saudi Arabia this week from Iraqi territory in coordination with Iraqi armed groups, according to assessments by Saudi Arabia and regional partners, reflecting growing coordination among Iran militias, 2 officials in the region said. The assessments was different from official accounts indicate that members of Iran's so-called proxies are resistant to have deepened their ties and ability to inflict damage to the U.S. allies, and the reason despite years of U.S. and Israeli strikes on them, from Lebanon to Iran after Hammuz